Hello and thank you so much for joining me here at Why the Book Wins. My name is Laura, and today we are actually talking about why the movie wins, because when I do my book versus movie comparisons, my name may be Why the Book Wins, but there are often times where the movie is better, the movie wins. And so I was going to do a video, which I was inspired by Impression Blend, Mariana at Impression Blend. Definitely check out her site or her YouTube channel. She is a movie reviewer, but she does talk about books, and then she did a video where she talked about movies that are better than the book. And I was like, wow, that's such a great idea. Why did I never think of that? And so rather than just saying movies that I think are better than the book, on Instagram, I asked you what movie you think is better than the book. And so many of you responded that this video is just going to be me reacting to your submissions, what you think, the movies you think are better than the books. And then I will do a part 2 to this video where I share movies that I think are better than the book. And if you didn't get a chance to respond to that Instagram question, comment down below on this video and let me know movies that you think are better than the book that weren't talked about in this video. And if you're not following me on Instagram, then you should definitely go follow me and subscribe to my YouTube channel in case you are not subscribed. And I do have a poll going on right now for an upcoming book versus movie, so head over to my community page and vote on which Stephen King book and movie you want me to cover next. But anyway, let's just get right into this. And right out of the gate, we are starting with a tough one, and that is The Shining. This was submitted by David Gonzalez, who does Real Talk Inc. He is a film reviewer. And yeah, he said The Shining movie wins over the book. And this is a tough one because the movie on its own, it is so good, so well done. It's fantastic. It's iconic. However, when you compare it with the book, that changes things because I think the book wins with that one for multiple reasons. But for starters, the character of Jack is just so much more sympathetic in the book. I mean, there's times where even though he's sympathetic, there's times where you just want to grab him and shake him and tell him to stop doing what he's doing. However, in the movie, he's not sympathetic at all, and he's not likable, and he seems like a bad guy. Whereas in the book, you could see the inner turmoil going on with Jack. And then also Danny is such a bigger character in the book, and I love that so much. Whereas in the movie, he's there, but not as prominent. Wendy, actually, the mom, she's different from book to movie, but I like her in both. So I don't really have a complaint with the changes they made with her per se, and I think Shelley Duvall was amazing in that movie. But yeah, the book just had so much more to it. Yeah, the book is fantastic. One of my favorite Stephen King books, of course. Anyone who reads Stephen King will say that's one of their favorites. But yeah, so David, I'm going to disagree. I think the book wins, but I can understand why people would say the movie wins because it is such a great movie. And then Morons Reviewing Movies, as well as Jose, said No Country for Old Men. And the book is by Cormac McCarthy, and I have covered The Road by Cormac McCarthy if you want to check that out. But I have not covered No Country for Old Men. This is a movie I have seen multiple times and I loved it, but I haven't been in a rush to cover it for some reason. I did hear that the book is very similar to the movie, like it's a very faithful adaptation, and so you're not gonna learn anything new really by reading the book. However, I do want to cover it at some point because the movie is so fantastic, but even though I haven't read the book, I can totally understand why people would say the movie wins because it's an incredible movie. Joseph said The Exorcist 3. I did not even know there was a third one. I did see the first movie back when I was into horror movies, but in 2015, I had a shift where I stopped watching horror movies, specifically like ones involving possession and demons and stuff. That just creeps me out way too much, and I had to stop watching them because it's too disturbing and it's too creepy, and it's not for me, and it keeps me up at night and I can't sleep and I have nightmares. So I can confidently say I will not be watching Exorcist 3 or reading the book, so I will take your word for it that the movie wins. But yeah, I haven't read any of the Exorcist books, and at this point in my life, I have no intention to. But yeah, so I will trust you on that one. Mason Book Reviews said Shawshank Redemption, and this is another one where I have often heard that the movie wins and is so much better. I actually saw the movie like 10 years ago, maybe more than 10 years ago, and around the same time, I watched The Green Mile, and I remember liking The Green Mile a lot, whereas Shawshank just didn't get to me the way it does for a lot of people, because I know so many people name Shawshank as like their favorite movie of all time, and it's so iconic. But I don't remember too much about it specifically, and it just didn't get to me the way it has to other people, apparently. I have also read the short story, but that was a few years ago, and again, it wasn't one that I was just like, oh my goodness. So I do want to cover it, for sure. I will be covering it at some point. Yeah, it seems like the general consensus agrees that the movie does win with that one, though. Mike Field and Fog Point Films said Jaws, and I am ashamed to say that I have never seen the movie Jaws. I don't know how, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. That seems crazy. I still use the quote, "We're gonna need a bigger boat," but I've never seen it. The poster is also just so incredible, but yeah, haven't read the book, haven't seen the movie. I do want to cover it. If I don't cover it in 2022, I will plan on doing it next year. But again, this is one I've heard from multiple people that the movie wins. So I am curious to see this one. I honestly don't know much about the story aside from a killer shark. I guess that's all you really need to know, I suppose. But yeah, really want to watch this one. We'll be covering it at some point. And yeah, I'm kind of gonna go into it expecting to like the movie better because that is what I have heard. And Ginny said Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince as well as the Hunger Games. And Ginny, actually, by the way, she's someone that I know in real life. We met when I was in 7th grade and she was in 8th grade. So we go way back. Our communication has been, fluctuated through the years because I moved from that school when I was a freshman. But anyway, so I thought it was really cool that she submitted some answers. But to address the Hunger Games, have not read it. I've only seen one movie. I saw it in theaters, whichever one came out in 2013 or 2014, and I liked it, like in the moment. But then once I left the theater, I had zero inclination to go back and read the books or the movies or see the upcoming movies. So I enjoyed the movie I saw, but not enough to see any of the others. But I have heard that this is a tough one because the books are very beloved, but then the movies are such great adaptations. So I have heard others say that the movie wins, but I do know that it can be a tough call. And then Film Toppings also said Harry Potter, and they just said Harry Potter in general, whereas Ginny specifically said The Half-Blood Prince. And now The Half-Blood Prince is a great adaptation, but when it comes to Harry Potter, I am all about the books. They are just so fantastic. I haven't even seen all of the Harry Potter movies, I don't think, because I just wasn't interested. I don't think I saw the second one, for example, or maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen all of them though, but the books are fantastic. And I was like late in the game on that because I started the books the end of 2019, and then I finished them before, right as COVID was hitting in 2020. And that was my first time ever reading them all the way through, and they were amazing. I don't know how I went all my life avoiding spoilers, but I did not know what was going to happen, and they were just fantastic. And yeah, the movies are great adaptations, but the books are just better in my opinion, even though Half-Blood Prince is a very faithful adaptation. I mean, all of them are really, but yeah, I'm still gonna disagree, and I would have to say the book wins when it comes to all of Harry Potter. Nick from Book Meridian said Drive My Car, which is based on a short story by Murakami, I forget his first name. And then the movie came out, it was in the Oscars this past year, 2022. And yeah, I read the short story. I intended to do a book versus movie, but then I still just have not gotten around to seeing the movie. It is 3 hours long, so that's kind of why I have talked myself out of it. And it's based on a short story. Did they really have to turn it into a 3-hour movie? But it does not surprise me that the movie wins because it is based on a short story. And oftentimes I think when it's based on a short story, it just makes sense that the movie ends up being better because it can elaborate more than the short story did. But he also submitted Blade Runner, which is based on Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I read this book in 2017. I have seen the movie multiple times. And honestly, the main thing I remember from both of them is just how different they were. I think I saw the movie first. And so then when I read the book, I was just like, what? This is so different. So that really caught me by surprise. But I remember really liking the book. So I am wanting to do this one for sure. I plan on doing it sometime soon, and my brother-in-law will actually be on that episode because he's a big fan of Blade Runner. So we're going to record that together. So that'll be really fun. So this is one I will be covering. And yeah, I'm excited to get back into it because I honestly don't remember too many details about the book or the movie. So it's definitely one I need to return to and refresh my memory on both of those. But again, Blade Runner is one that the general consensus from what I've read and what I hear, pretty much everybody agrees that the movie wins. And JJ Likes Movies said 50 Shades of Grey, which that surprised me because the books were just so popular, whereas I don't remember hearing much about the movies. And I haven't read the books, I haven't seen the movies, and honestly, I'm not particularly interested. So I will once again take JJ's word for it that the movies win. But yeah, I mean, I know the books were insanely popular. But anyway, according to JJ, the movies are even better. And she's a movie reviewer on Instagram, so you should go check her out. And then Film Toppings, they said Harry Potter, but they also said Lord of the Rings and Room. So Lord of the Rings, definitely agree. I tried to read those books. I read Fellowship and I got partway through Twin Towers and I just stopped. Or Two Towers? Twin Towers? I think it's Two Towers. Anyway, they were just kind of boring. Tolkien fans don't hate me, but I just got bored, and so I stopped reading them. So I like the movies, how they stay true to the books while being more succinct and leaving out all the unnecessary background information and the background events that just don't really matter. And they just stuck to the core of the story. And yeah, those movies are incredible and so epic. And then Room is by Emma Donoghue. I did cover this one if you want to check it out. Definitely agree. The movie wins. It was not so much better, but the way the book is written, I did not like, and it takes getting used to, and I just was never liking it because it's written from the perspective of a 5-year-old boy, which is fine, except he just talks in an annoying way, and like baby talk kind of way, and also because he's raised in such an isolated space, he just talks funny. But that doesn't make sense because his mom talks normal, and he watches TV where they talk normal, so why does he talk so weird? That doesn't even make sense. Anyway, the movie is incredible though, great performances. You feel more connected to the character of Ma in the movie, I think, than you do in the book, so that's another reason why the movie is better, but honestly, I wouldn't really recommend the book. Just stick to the movie on that one. Joyful Book Girl said Princess Diaries. This is one that has been on my list, but once again, I just haven't gotten around to it. I have heard, though, from others that the movie wins, and how can you go wrong with Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews? So it doesn't surprise me that the movie wins. And yeah, these are like comfort movies for me, and they came out when I was a kid, and yeah, I really love these movies. Though I will say the first movie is like anti-curly hair, because Mia, when she gets her makeover done, they have to get rid of the curly hair. So not a fan of that. But anyway, I really like the movies. And I do want to cover it at some point, but I'm not in a rush to do that. And Roland and Young Alexander said Fight Club. Again, I have read the book, I have seen the movie. I know the end was different, but I don't remember how the book ends. So the movie is definitely the one that has stuck with me. Amazing performances, David Fincher directed, like incredible movie, right? And that was like one of the first, I mean, credit where credit is due though, because it is from the book, but you know, the reveal, the twist was just like so mind-blowing. And yeah, incredible performances. Again, I'm not in a rush to cover this one for some reason, partly because it's not new to me. I've already read the book and seen the movie, like back in 2015 was when I read the book for the first time. Saw the movie prior to that, but anyway. So yeah, I agree though, the movie wins. Yet another movie podcast said Jurassic Park. Hard disagree. Jurassic Park, like, I get the movie is iconic. And it's more family friendly for sure. Like it goes from being this magical place, and then the last like third of the movie, maybe last half of the movie is when it shifts. Whereas the book never really felt magical. Like right from the start, it feels like a monster movie, right? And it's very creepy and it's more dark and the characters aren't as likable, meaning like the main guy, Dr. Hammond specifically. And yeah, I kind of liked that the book was darker, I guess. And they get into the science more, but it's not dense. So yeah, the book was incredible. I was like so engrossed the whole time. The movie is good, but the movie also adds the romance, which I was not a fan of. But I will say with the book, there is that whole scene at the end where they visit the nests, which was like, why is this here? Like it had great pacing in the book until that happens, and then it feels like it just drags on until the end. But anyway, I disagree, and I think the book wins. And then Young Alexander also said The Godfather and American Psycho, and Piano Man KD and Toledo Lewis also said The Godfather. So 3 people for The Godfather. And I actually just started this book today. So book first movie coming in the next couple months, probably September actually. But anyway, I saw the movie, but that was like over 10 years ago. And I watched that and the other Godfather movies. And I remember the second one the most. So that's the one that stuck with me more. So the first one, honestly, it does feel new to me. Like as I'm reading it, I don't remember the movie well enough to know where the book is going, honestly. I mean, I do to some extent, but yeah, anyway. So book first movie coming for this soon. But again, this is another one that I've heard so many people say the movie is better. And so far, like, I'm so early on in the book, but so far, like, I'm not loving it. But I guess that's to be expected because everyone says the movie is better anyway. And I am so early on, so I feel like it's too early to place a judgment on the book. But anyway, I am reading that right now, so book first movie coming soon. And then American Psycho, I have seen the movie. So incredibly quotable. I mean, like, every line in that movie can be quotable. But zero interest reading the book. The movie is pretty graphic, obviously, and I have no interest reading about that, and I've heard the book goes even more into it, so that is a pass for me, and I will take your word as well that the movie wins. Wasteland Reviewer said Fantastic Mr. Fox. This is one that I want to cover. I don't know why I haven't, because I love the movie, and the book is by Roald Dahl, but the movie is just so fun and so quirky. Great cast. I love the animation. I don't know why I haven't covered it yet. I know I already said that, but this is one I do want to do soon because I love the movie so much. So I've never read the book before, so that would be interesting too, to read the source book. But yeah, I would probably go into it expecting to like the movie better. So thanks for suggesting that one, because it was on my list, but I'd kind of forgotten about it until it was suggested here. So maybe I'll try to do this one before the year is out. And Matthew at Hef17 said Casino Royale, and I have not read the book, but I am pretty sure I would agree with you though, because I do really like that movie and I enjoy the James Bond movies overall, especially the Daniel Craig ones, of course. And yeah, I think action movies like that just work better for me in a movie, because I just finished reading The Gray Man and that was James Bond-esque. And I am pretty sure I'm gonna end up liking the movie better because it's an action book. And I would rather see the action played out on screen, I think. So yeah, I would probably agree as well that Casino Royale, the movie, wins, even though I haven't actually read the book. But love the movie though. And Could Be Reading said Normal People, which is a book by Sally Rooney, and then it was made into a TV show. I have not read the book, I have not seen the movie, but I did listen to Cover to Credits talk about this in their book versus movie episode, and they agreed. They had a hard time choosing, but they did ultimately both say that the show was better. So yeah, I haven't seen either, but based on what they said, the show is the better one. And that wraps it up for all of the answers you guys submitted. Thank you so much. In the next week or two, I'll be doing my second part to this video where I share ones that weren't on this list that I think are better than the book. And again, like this video, comment your thoughts down below. Don't forget to subscribe and to share my channel with friends and family so that it can just grow even more. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.